And continuing along with On the Spot, let's resume with the answers to the questions that you guys have sent. The next question comes to us from Dylan Scruggs. OTS, I hope my grammar has gotten in better because every time you read my question, I feel like an idiot. But anyways, that's not my question, but question is, have you ever met anyone famous and got that famous person autograph? If we can see the autograph, and also, have you ever went somewhere and somebody heard your voice and asked, are you the review spot? Sorry the long question and sorry for missing a lot of your videos, but don't worry, I'm back. And now I'm going to watch your videos now. Woohoo, I'm back. Welcome back, Dylan. Welcome back. It's good to have you back, man. You've been gone a long time. You're now back. Better than ever? I would hope so. Welcome back. Answer to your question. Where I used to work at Staples, actually, long time ago. There was something remarkable about that store where there was a lot of people, famous, I suppose, if you want to consider it famous, but a lot of famous people used to come into the store. Trying to think of some of the names. Trailer Park Boys. A couple of guys from Trailer Park Boys have been in. It's a Canadian. I don't know if everybody watches Trailer Park Boys. I don't, but there's a Ron McLean from Hockey Night in Canada. He was in. Donovan Bailey, who at one point was the fastest man alive. He was Canadian. He was in. Jody from Today's Special. I'm of course mentioning people that are all likely Canadian celebrities, and you guys have never heard of any of them. I think that's the only. Oh, when I was at a general store when I was younger, and I noticed that the guy in the general store was the professor from My Secret Identity. How's that for a throwback? I know my father. Now this is an interesting story. My father, where he worked, they were doing filming around that town, around that section of the city, and Mike Rooker, which had I mentioned this probably 5 years ago, you guys probably don't know who Mike Rooker is. He was in Cliffhanger. That's probably the one I always compare to him the most. He was also in Replicant with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was also in, I think he was in the Eighth Day or the Ninth Day. What was that movie with? I completely forgot about it. What is that movie with Schwarzenegger about the cloning? Ninth Day? I don't know. He was in that movie. But I think a lot of you guys know him now by he's the guy in Walking Dead. Another show Spot does not watch, but he's also in Walking Dead. My dad actually called me while I was on lunch from school. I came home from school and I was eating my lunch, and he called me and he said, "Oh, I've got this guy named Mike Rooker down there." And of course, I by this point had only seen him in Cliffhanger, but really liked the actor. And needless to say, my dad got me his autograph. But looking back on it, I don't know why I didn't just ask if I could go down there and meet the guy instead of going back to school. I guess education is key and education is important, but I do still have Mike Rooker's autograph. If I can find it, I'll definitely, I don't know if I'll make a review out of it, but I'll definitely show you guys on camera. Aside from that, I've never had anybody come up to me and said, "Hey, that voice sounds familiar. Do you do YouTube channel?" Nothing has ever happened like that. It probably, for me, it benefits the fact that I think the majority of the people who watch my videos aren't likely around the area I live anyways, so they may not run into me. But another reason why I don't show my face is just simply because then way if I'm walking in a mall, not that anyone is gonna, not that by any stretch of the imagination, nor should most reviewers feel this way, that, they're just simply gonna walk out to a grocery store and somebody's gonna fall head over heels and say, "Oh, you're so-and-so, oh, I watch your videos." I've never had that happen, and likely I don't think that's ever gonna happen. That's what I'm thinking. Again, no celebrity whatsoever. None. I think that's the only other question that he had sent. Yeah, I do believe so. And by the way, nice to see you back, Dylan. Next question comes to us from Horror Movie Fanatic 07. OTS, can you show all your Freddy Krueger stuff? Most of my Freddy Krueger is actually on my shelf. There's only about 4 figures up right now. If I'm looking at it from where I am right here, I think I've got, is that the Dream Warriors Freddy with the open chest and all the little mouths going meow meow meow. I've got the one from, I think, Dream Master with all the arms. He's up there. And I'm also looking at the black and white Freddy. Those are the only ones I've got up there actually right now. I don't have any other Freddys. Most of them are all, again, packed away. It's unfortunate, I know, but yeah, those are really the only things I've got up on display right now. And you can't even probably tell that my voice is changing, but every time I'm looking over, I'm wondering if my voice is changing because I'm looking at the shelf on my bookcase. Next question comes to us from the Mystery Mountain Man. Somehow they get internet in the mountain. I don't know. OTS, what do you think was the most embarrassing moment in your life? I've had several. Spot seems to make a history of, or a pattern of having embarrassing moments. But I know one moment that still stands out in my mind is when I was in public school in grade 4. I went up to sharpen my pencil, and the teacher had the overhead projector on. No, yeah, the overhead projector with the slides. You should write on it. It was very primitive by today's standards. And I remember walking up to sharpen my pencil while she was looking at transparencies, I guess, overhead transparencies. And she was showing the class, and I happened to walk up to sharpen my pencil, thinking that I was being so subtle and nobody was noticing. But then when I walked back, totally tripped over the cord. Not only did I trip over the cord and fell, but I tripped over the cord and pulled the overhead projector off the table or off the little cart that she had, and it fell on the floor. Needless to say, everybody in the entire class went silent and looked right in this guy's direction. It was very, very humiliating. I'm sure I've done many things since that have been just as humiliating, but that one always stands out in my mind because, yeah, that was really embarrassing. I don't think the overhead was broken, so there was some relief to that. At least I didn't break school equipment. The next question, if I'm scrolling up, we're actually getting really near the end as well. There's not many left. There's only about this much. Don't gauge that by my fingers, but there's about that much left. Next question comes to us from Hansel Cintron? Cintron. He says, OTS, if you weren't a toy reviewer, what would you be doing on YouTube? If I wasn't doing YouTube reviewing, I would probably do like vlogs. I like talking. I like talking on camera, even though theoretically I'm not on camera. But I probably would be doing like vlogs, talking about stuff in news and Hollywood, and pretty much essentially what I would be doing on Spot's Thought, I probably would be doing on YouTube. So really, it's worked itself out that now I have that secondary channel, the Spot's Thought. If you guys want to check it out, and it's a good thing actually I have that because that's also an outlet for doing this, talking on camera, while not only just doing the figure reviewing, I can do also this, and they're their own entities, so they're not conflicting with one another. By all means, though, if you want to follow all three, you can totally do that. It's fine. You can subscribe to all three. It's all right. Next question comes to us from, I assume this guy is a Dragon Ball Z fan. It's DBZJT2844. OTS, what is your favorite animal? As much as I'm terrified of them, I am quite terrified of these. I really like sharks. I think sharks are kind of neat. They're nature's killing machine. So many rows of teeth. Killing machine. I love shark movies too. Again, I don't like sharks, surprisingly. I'm afraid of sharks. But I don't know, I just love the design of a shark. I also really like penguins, which are really two completely separated animal. I mean, clearly, if you put a penguin with a shark, we all know the penguin would win. But I don't know, maybe that's why I like the penguin as well. Even though he's a really lousy Batman villain, I always have had a soft spot for the villain, penguin. I also like umbrellas, but that's besides the point. Next question is from, he actually asked 2 questions. I know you have a cat, but what sex is that cat and what is it called? Well, I actually have 4 cats. Don't judge me. Most of them were rescued, so I think that gives me some get out of creepy cat person card. I have 2 males and actually 2 females, and I think I mentioned their names before: Jem, Tago, Milo, and Cassie. Next question comes to us from the Comic Strip 3 OTS. I already asked you something, but I have to ask this. Are you going to do any more Spider-Man reviews? Because they are my favorite. Can you do throwbacks on the ones you did when you started because you sound depressed and sad? No, my friend. Comic Strip 3, I wasn't sad, depressed. I was new. And I wasn't I wasn't properly experienced in this whole concept of reviewing. I was getting my teeth cut? Is that what they say? That's a horrible, if that's the right slogan, that's a horrible thing to say. But I was new, let's say new to reviewing, so I wasn't quite, lighting wasn't the most fantastic. My voice was probably crackling here and there. Yeah. Don't worry, throwbacks, majority of the stuff I have shot, I hope to re-review, so don't worry, those will be coming. Yeah, and I guess for in the way of Willie doing more Spider-Man figures, technically, I've already done some on the other channel. I'm pointing over here, but technically this would be, I guess, the edge of your monitor, so it would be irrelevant. But I did do the new Power Webs Ultimate Spider-Man figures, which some of them were all right, some of them were crap. The Venom was crap. So, I mean, there's those. And again, by all means, I will be going back and likely doing throwbacks on some of the figures. Maybe not all of them, but some of them at least. Next question comes to us from Harry927. Hey Spot, I have a question. Do you review DC Direct Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City figures? And I love them all, but when are you going to be continuing to do them? P.S. I have some of the figures from Batman from Arkham City. I have Catwoman, Detective Mode, Batman, and Series 3 Batman, and I also love Batman Returns too. Hey, another Batman Returns fan. Attaboy. I'm just taking a drink here. My throat's a little dry. I know I was kind of doing a lot of the Batman Arkham Asylum figures and Arkham City figures. To be honest, I'm going to level with you guys. To me, I kind of just lost interest in the Batman figures. I mean, you know, I could simply pick them up for the sake of reviewing, but I mean, at the price of what these figures are, I just really have not been impressed anymore in picking up and continuing the line. In fact, I'm selling off all my Batman Arkham City figures, Arkham Asylum figures. I'm selling off all my waves. If anybody is at all, I'm just throwing it out here, if anybody's at all interested in making me a deal, fire me a private message up at the top and we'll figure out something, or probably send it to my main channel, as I probably check that more often. But needless to say, I probably will likely be selling those because I've just lost interest. Just kind of lost interest. The last several questions, we have one, can you show your face, from Shiera. Next question is from the Super Wolf 07. Hey Spot, what was your favorite toy when you were a kid and what is it now? Favorite toy actually from as a kid was probably, I have a couple, and these are random, but I have Laserbeak. The original cassette Laserbeak was one of my favorites. I got that for a Christmas gift. Kept it in my pocket. I used to go to school and have it in my pocket all the time. It finally broke, Lone Tier, but certainly we've had Laserbeaks re-released in that amount of time. Another one is G.I. Joe Flint, which is my favorite G.I. Joe, Flint. And another favorite when I was a kid was the Sky Striker. I really loved the Sky Striker. G.I. Joe Sky Striker. Actually, one of my first, I think it was actually my first G.I. Joe thing I ever got, and it was for a Christmas gift. I think I was like 6 or 7, something like that. Favorite toy now? I really am liking the NECA stuff, the NECA Friday 13th figures. I'm really loving those. The Gremlins toys, even though we've gotten a lot of them, I mean, there's an excessive amount of Gremlins toys out there. I'm really loving the Gremlins toys. They're so well put together and just well designed. Another favorite toy now, obviously DC Superheroes Clayface. I have to throw that in there as well. Yeah, there's a lot of good toys coming out now. Lego has really impressed me too. The Ninja Turtle Lego, bar none, some of my favorite Lego. Yeah, some good selections out now. Thank you to the Superwolf 07. Next question comes from the Potato Guy. Actually, it's Potato Guy. I just put the in front of it. He says, hey, the Toy Channel reviews Play-Doh sets. Oh, I guess he was responding to somebody else. Oh, and then, because somebody asked, will I review Play-Doh sets? I guess the last question comes to us, this is the last question for On the Spot, comes to us from Philip Foster. OTS, who do you think is the worst cartoon character ever and why? Worst cartoon character ever. You know, I really never liked Johnny Quest. I don't know what it was. I just really did not like Johnny Quest. That guy, I don't know what it was. Really did not like Johnny Quest. I tell you who else I really don't like is King of the Hill. I can't stand King of the Hill. The animation, for me at least, I find the animation in King of the Hill is terrible. Of that cast, I would say Bobby is probably one of... I can't stand that character. Can I just put the cast of King of the Hill as a whole as one of my options? Trying to think of who else. Who else really stands out and grinds my gears? I can't think of really anybody else. I guess those would be really the two. Wheelie I didn't find really annoying. I know a lot of people hated Wheelie, but Wheelie I wasn't too bothered by Wheelie. Oh, I know one from my past. The Robo Bears. Was it the Robo Bears? From Thundercats? Spot's memory is a little... Actually, to be honest, Spot I think needs a nap. But yeah, the Robo Bears. The Robo Bears from Thundercats. Where everything they talked was in like a computerized voice. And he's always like, hey there. I'm not even going to bother doing an impression of Lionel or the Robo Bears. But yeah, those are probably like the ones I would say King of the Hill. Like for me, I think probably the tops is King of the Hill. I think I would say King of the Hill. Well, guys, that's it. That's it. We have now finished On the Spot. It was a bit of a lengthy ordeal. I certainly appreciate everybody who has been following along as I answer these questions. You guys are the best, as always. And again, thank you for following this new channel, The Extra Spot. It may be a bit before Spot does another one of these On the Spots because it does take such a large amount of time to do it. But definitely, if when we do On the Spot again, you'll find it right here on The Extra Spot. Thank you to everybody who sent me questions. Hopefully I answered them all right. And Spot apologizes again if I totally botched your name. But in the meantime, guys, certainly stick around this channel. There's going to be a lot more reviews and other extra things coming. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.